Story of the widow's son at Nain. Have you ever experienced the pain of losing a loved one, or witnessed the grief of someone who has lost a dear family member? In the town of Nain, a widow was mourning the loss of her only son. Can you imagine the depth of her sorrow, the weight of losing her child, the one who would have provided for her in her old age and carried on their family name? Here's the captivating question. How many of us can empathize with this mother's grief, feeling the ache in our hearts at the thought of losing someone so dear to us? As the funeral procession was making its way through the town, Jesus, full of compassion, noticed the widow's pain. He was moved by her sorrow and said to her, "Do not weep." Now let's reflect together. Have you ever experienced a moment of despair where it felt like all hope was lost and there was nothing left to do but weep? In an incredible display of divine power and compassion, Jesus touched the bier, and the funeral procession came to a halt. He spoke with a voice filled with authority and said to the young man, "Young man, I say to you, arise." And just like that, in a miraculous moment, the young man came back to life and sat up, alive and well. The story of the widow's son at Nain teaches us about Jesus' deep empathy and his power over life and death. It reminds us that in our moments of grief and despair, Jesus is near, ready to comfort us and bring restoration to our broken hearts. Now here comes the message of hope. Just as Jesus raised the widow's son from death, he offers us hope and new life. Through faith in him, we can find comfort in our darkest hours, knowing that he is the source of eternal life. So let us be encouraged by this story to turn to Jesus in our moments of sorrow, knowing that he is the ultimate comforter and the one who has conquered death itself. May we find solace in his loving presence and trust in his power to bring new life out of our deepest grief. As we reflect on the widow's profound loss and miraculous restoration, may we be reminded of the hope and healing that Jesus offers to all who call upon his name. Let us draw near to him in times of sorrow and find comfort in his everlasting arms. This is the end of this episode. Follow for more content.